Namaste, Seattle. How are you feeling today? Welcome to our meditation for Seattle tonight. It's a pleasure to be here with you. Let me just take a moment and say, will you just vibe with me for a moment? Will you just hold this space with me for a moment? Really just coming into and bringing your presence, bringing your attention right here to this space, right here to this moment. So oftentimes in life, our attention is somewhere else other than where we are. Our attention is on a problem that we have experienced. Our attention is on something we are planning for. Our attention is for an event that we expect or imagine could possibly happen. But I want to invite you to shift your attention back right here, right now, to this granular aspect of this moment with the breath rising and subsiding, noticing and holding and bearing witness to. Just taking a moment, breathing with your breath as it rises and as it subsides, settling into this space, rising and subsiding. You may notice thoughts arise. You may notice feelings are arising. You may notice frustration is still there. You may notice that uncertainty is still prevalent. But just in this moment, can you just take the time to be with your breath, to be with this moment and the boundless sense that it contains? Hold this space very gently, filled with ease, filled with compassion. Hold this space. Maintain this containers. Be with whatever arises and meet it all with wisdom and compassion. A deep breath to seal our practice. Inhale and release. Namaste. Wow, Seattle, let me tell you, thank you for holding this space so bravely today. Thank you for holding this room. Thank you for resetting the energy within this room. It's so important that individuals like you have chosen to show up, have chosen to say that we're not just going to allow the status quo to continue, that we're not simply going to just go along with the flow, that we will redirect the river, that we will be along with the waves, right? That there is a time and there is a moment where you go with the flow, but there is another time and another place where you have to redirect the river. There is not a single river whose course today is the same one that was when the river was initiated. The river is constantly in flux with its environment. It is constantly reshaping its environment. It is pushing down mountains, and it is charting through granite, and it is rising and it is subsiding. Just like within your life, you are constantly shifting, you are constantly changing, you are constantly moving, and your heart is always having to be responsive to what is arising within your life. And so I just want to say thank you for showing up in the way that you are showing up and for being so brave in how you do it. This isn't just a safe space. This is also a brave space. So really be able to speak to your experiences. So today we're going to be doing something powerful. We're going to be holding a space for our meditation. We're going to host this mindfulness experience, but we are also going to be doing affirmations. We are also going to be calling out what has been placed upon our heart, because so many of you may or may not know this, that imprinted upon your heart is the capacity, is the ability to transform. That imprinted upon your heart is a guidebook for how your life can unfold beautifully. And so I just want to be so skillful in how I approach this, because I know with the people that I'm dealing with and what they are holding space for, it is to be treated with care. It is something of value. You know, the Dharma says, and mindfulness says, that you are of noble birth and you were noble from your origins. You're not noble because someone else said you were. You're not noble because someone co-signed on you. You're not noble because someone approved you. You're not noble because someone think it should be so. You aren't noble because you were in the right club. You aren't noble because you went to the right school. You aren't noble because you came from the right family. You aren't noble because of what is in your bank account. You are noble from your origins. It is a part of your essence. It is the fundamental established order of your heart, of your life. And the Dharma and mindfulness reminds us that at any moment we can tap into that nobility, that we can tap into that reservoir of strength, that reservoir of power, and manifest it within our lives, that it doesn't just have to stay stuck within us, that the song of inspiration that beats our heart is not meant to just stay trapped within our heart, that it is meant to be released, that it is meant to be called out, that it is meant to be a transformational force within our environment and within our world. Because we know this, and we know this is very powerful, is that what is within us can shape what is around us. And what is around us can in turn influence what is within us. And that is the reciprocal nature. That is the how things are manifested in a karmic order. How many of you know that the very fabric of this universe is karma? That it is that there are causes and there are conditions. If those causes and conditions are met, then the effect will take place. That is a karmic order. That is an established order. That is a relationship. That is a reciprocal process that many of us may or may not know about. And so I just want to say that I am calling forth individuals like you. I am calling forth this moment. I am calling forth the vision that has been placed within you. I am calling forth the purpose that has been placed within you. And by the end of today, when we do our ennoblement blessing, when we do our ennoblement meditation and release the blessings of your life into this world, so that the harvest that is intended for you will be seen, will be witnessed, will begin to be planted. And some of you may be thinking, you know what, I don't really know what I want. I don't really know what direction I am headed in. I am here to tell you today, then your meditation and what you can hold space for is a clarity of vision, a clarity of focus, a clarity of purpose. Because we know that within you is the capacity to awaken. Within you is a capacity of strength. That within you is a reservoir of power that is a transformational force. And I cannot overstate that enough. That it is a transformational force within you that can shape your environment, that can reset the room, that can shift the energetic field, and to bring you into an alignment with your access, the likes of which you cannot fully contain. And so today is going to be a powerful day, Seattle. It is a concentrated day. It's only 30 minutes. And some of you may be thinking, what can be done in 30 minutes? Well, I am going to tell you the capacity of your heart can be released with a single breath. The wisdom within you can be released with a single breath. All we have to do is bring ourselves into alignment, bring ourselves into the presence, to bring ourselves into a place where wisdom and compassion can arise within us and be released through us. Many of us just simply get in the way. Many of us become our own barriers. Many of us look at the adversity around us and say, you know what, I'm not going to show up today. I might as well just pack my bags up and go. This isn't really my fight. This isn't really where I'm meant to show up at. Many of us, we get backed into a corner, we get against the ropes, we get knocked down, and we think that's a sign that means that I am not cut out for this, that this business cannot be mine, that this company cannot be mine, that this startup cannot be mine, that this house cannot be mine. And you may be telling yourself what you are not capable of. Why are you telling yourself this? It's because in this teaching of this sense of avarice is this insatiable quality to cling on to a specific way. And what you're clinging on to is an idea of how the vision or how the purpose is going to be manifested through you. And you think that the vision or the purpose is going to be manifested in the bank, that they would say yes. You think that the vision or the purpose is going to be manifested through an investor that they would approve. You think that the vision or the purpose is going to be manifested through a supervisor that they would promote you. But the vision and purpose is not dependent on the authority of someone else. It is dependent on the authority of your own heart, of bringing yourself into alignment with it. And even if your supervisor doesn't approve it, and even if the banker doesn't approve it, and even if the investor doesn't approve it, that does not mean that this is where your dream has come to die. It is not dependent on them. It will find a new host. It will find a new path. Just as the river that is dammed will begin to rise, so too, when you meet adversity, you will begin to rise. You will begin to move over. You will begin to shift the room. You will begin to change the environment. And some of us have to begin to speak to ourselves with that level of conviction, with that level of power, that we are not just going to go idly by, that we will shift the environments upon which we are placed. We are thermometers, right? We are thermometers. That's how some of you think of yourselves, right? You think, I am a thermometer. I am just gauging the temperature in the room. Well, today is the day that you stop thinking that you are a thermometer. You are a thermostat. You change the temperature. You shape the temperature. You decide what the temperature will be. And if it's too cold, it's time to turn up the heat. It's time to turn up the volume. And Seattle, I am here to tell you that today, some of you need to turn up the volume on your life. You need to turn up the volume on your dreams. You need to turn up the volume on your prosperity. Seattle, today is the day that we're going to establish a field of vision, the likes of which many of you cannot quite fully fathom. But it is important for you to begin to see, even if today you only capture a glimpse, even if today you only see a moment, even if today you only bear witness to what is possible for the fraction of a second, if you have a glimpse of what is in store, it will give you the strength to endure, to carry on, to move forward, to push through. And so, Seattle, it is wonderful for you to be able to meditate with me and to hold this space with me today. I am Aumrie, and I am a meditation teacher from Los Angeles. And I sure hope you today, whatever device you are using, whether you're using a computer or a tablet or a cell phone, or you're projecting this onto a TV or some other screen, know this: I sure hope the insurance is up to date on that device, because I plan on ripping the screen off. I'm planning on tearing the roof off this place. I'm planning on shifting some heart sets. I'm planning on demolishing some strongholds within your mind, some entrenchments and some entanglements that have been holding you down, that have been holding you back. The Dharma is getting ready to lay waste to old, limited, negative ideas that you have been recycling and that have been on repeat in your life. It is time to shift gears. It is time to shift your heart set. So are you ready, Seattle? I can't tell. Are you ready, Seattle? Because what we have in store is going to be powerful and is going to be beautiful. Let's take a moment to shift gears. And so, what is mindfulness? What is the Dharma? What is this all about? What is this guy? He is on all this energy. He's talking all this. I thought meditation was supposed to be peaceful. I thought this was supposed to be calming. But here he is with all this energy, with all this voice, and is saying all these things that I didn't know. He was talking about my potential. He's talking about my possibilities. He's talking about me being able to be some sort of thermostat. What is that all about? Well, it's all rooted in this, and that is the teaching of mindfulness. And mindfulness is rooted, its origin teaching is the Dharma. The Dharma is the teaching of a virtuous life. Know that, the virtuous life, but we'll get back to that in just a second. And so I want to say this, just because many of you come here with these ideas about what you want out of life, just to level set and just to apply just a base layer, a framework for us to navigate from. Know this: living your best life is not enough. I know it's in the songs. I know it's popular. That's a great starting point, but it's not the finishing point. It is not where we arrive at. That is the first step. That is a place that you begin. It is the appetizer. It is not the entree. Okay, the main course is still coming up. All right, this is just to get your mouth watering, right? Just to get yourself salivating, just to give yourself some inspiration to carry on through your day. So you say, you know what? I want to live my best life. I want to have this goal. I have this desire. That is good. That is great. But it is not enough, because once you get that, you will begin to want something else, and you'll begin to want something else. The one car will want to lead to another car and lead to another car. The one house will lead to a bigger house and some renovations. And so what we know is that it's not simply enough to want, to desire, and to live your best life. There has to be something more. The next thing is that living to make money is not enough. Some of us think that we get up every day so that we can go into an office or go into a Zoom or go to our priority job so we can make some money, so we can go home, so that we can get back up and go home, so we can get back up and make some more money and go home, right? And we think that that's the sum total of our lives. We think that's the high watermark of our lives. Listen, making money, it's good, it's great. You know, you can pay your bills. The Dharma actually says that you can practice generosity out of that, right? Out of your overflow, out of your abundance, that out of your harvest, you can help lift other people up and you can help awaken more hearts. And so that's an important thing to consider as well. But know this, living to make money is not enough either. Living to make money is not enough. It is a starting point. It is an appetizer, but it is not the entree. It is not the main course, all right? Similarly, living to gain influence is not enough. I know we are in the 21st century and we are in the digital age, and everybody is an influencer and everybody wants to have influence. But the Dharma says that ill-gotten influence is harmful. It can be destructive and it can lead to suffering. That if you are living your life and seeking the approval of others, it is a cycle that diminishes and abdicates your own power, that abdicates the power of your heart, because your dream is not predicated on someone else. It wasn't given to the person who you are seeking after, to the other person. Your dream was not given to me. My dream was not given to you. And so it doesn't matter what I think of your dream, because it is you who must choose to manifest it. And it really doesn't matter. Listen, I love you. I like you. I really care about you. And I want to see the best for you. But what you think of my dream is really not of my concern as well, because the dream was given to me. It's been entrusted to me. It was for me to steward and for me to safeguard and for me to be a shepherd of. And if I am to be a shepherd of my dream, of my purpose, of my vision, then I can't allow that to be dependent upon you. And so many of us make our lives dependent upon someone else's approval, someone else's signing off, someone else's co-signing, someone else is just validation. And I understand the need. It's kind of a human concept. But sometimes in life, we have to begin to walk the road and the journey of our purpose and our destiny and meet the fellow travelers along the way. Sometimes in life, we begin the journey not with someone else, but we begin the journey alone and we meet the travelers along the way. Some of you need to begin to know that you cannot always begin the journey together. You cannot always begin the journey in a group. You cannot always begin the journey with your cohorts, with your bros, with your sisters, with your friends. You are maybe heading in different directions, and you must realize that the burden on your life for your dreams is to begin the journey, not to bring others along, to begin the journey, not to bring the culture along, to begin the journey, not to bring the family along, but to begin the journey. Some of you today need to begin your journey, not try to get everybody else rallied up. You're trying to get a caravan going. But the idea isn't that we get the caravan going, it's that we begin the journey with this step, because it takes a great deal of strength and a great deal of power to take the next step. And so I want to remind you that you are not just called to take everybody along, you're called to take the next step. And mindfulness, it calls you to a virtuous life, to embody the teachings of the Dharma. And that's the teaching of what? A teaching of a boundless heart. And so the deeper invitation of our practice of mindfulness is this teaching of the Dharma, to live with a boundless heart and a luminous mind. And so that's what I'm here to encourage you to do, to live wide, to live expansive, that you can live with a sense of spaciousness, that you don't have to be caught up in this narrow, limited way of thinking about yourself, that you don't have to be on autopilot, just keep going and going and going. No, you can shift, you can move, you can shake the room, you can be the thermostat and not the thermometer. And so just to provide a little bit of background about what we're doing here. So mindfulness, it comes from this teaching of the Dharma. The Dharma emerges from the border region of India and Nepal, roughly a little over 2,500 years ago. It spreads all throughout Central Asia and Southeast Asia and East Asia, and it continues to expand today. Right now, you are now the inheritor, and it started because there was a young prince who was born into a lot of wealth, a lot of privilege, and he began to look around his world and he said, you know what, this is nice, but I feel like something's missing, right? You ever feel like something is missing? There's something more that's calling you. So he decided to leave the palace. He threw the deuces up and he said, listen, I got to go explore. I got to go see what else is out there. So he went and did that. He went and he explored. He went to see what else is out there, and he saw it all. He saw people getting sick, and he saw people dying, and his heart really filled with compassion out of all that. And he decided to dedicate his life to sharing this teaching of how we can lessen the suffering and avarice that arises within life. And so one way that we can do that is through this practice of meditation. And so today we will meditate, but we will meditate with the intention, right, of it being an ennoblement, right? A reminder of our nobility, that you have value and that you have worth, and that through this meditation, we will manifest some of the desires of our hearts. And so that's the deeper invitation for our practice today. And so what do you say? I think it's about time. How about we get started with this meditation? How about we get started with this manifestation and this ennoblement, all right? So let's begin there. And how exactly do we do this? Well, I'm going to invite you to first find the rhythm, right? Find this rhythm. Find this rhythm. I'm going to invite you to gently sway wherever you are. If you're in your chair, gentle sway. You're just finding a rhythm, right? In the middle of all of this, you're finding a flow. You're finding your way right here in the middle of whatever you're facing. You can find a sense of composure, a sense of movement, right? A sense of flow through it all. And your hands coming up, back and forth, right? Gentle sway with the hands. You're coming into this flow, into this space, right? Into the fullness and the presence of this moment, into the presence of your nobility, into the presence of the Dharma, the awakened heart. And our hands begin to rise towards our head, right? And as they rise up, one hand goes down and the other comes up, right? Finding this rhythm as it goes to the breath. Your hands represent your breath, right? Breathing in, slowing down. We're calling ourselves to stillness. We're calling ourselves to peace. We're calling ourselves towards our nobility. Wherever you are, hold this space. Maintain this container. Meet whatever arises. And tend to it all with equal measures of wisdom and compassion. Coming into an upright and comfortable seated position. Allowing your left hand to support your right hand, thumbs curling up until the tips touch. Placing your hands gently into your lap. Closing your eyes if it's safe and comfortable to do so. Taking a deep breath in and out to settle into your practice. Feeling the weight of your body against the chair. Noticing the smells, the aromas within the room. Noticing the sounds that you hear. We don't have to stop any of it. We don't have to stop the thoughts. We don't have to stop the reactions. We simply cultivate the capacity to be with it all, moment by moment, breath by breath. This is our practice. And so I'm meditating for you today, Seattle. I'm meditating today for your dreams. I'm meditating today for the aspirations of your heart. I'm meditating today for the peace within your mind. I'm meditating today for what is possible. Holding this space. Maintaining this container. Your thoughts may shift towards fantasizing or remembering or planning. When you're ready, simply invite your attention to return towards your breath, however you notice it, right here, right now. It may be boring, it may be simple, but the invitation is that we can be with our experiences. And doing so creates a sense of safety. We're not in threat. Gives your brain, your amygdala and hypothalamus, they're in that constant threat detection mode. Gives it a cue, hey, stand down. Allow the heart to open. Allow the mind to open, to be receptive, to not necessarily be so entrenched. We're changing the temperature. We're the thermostats. We're shifting the room. We're resetting the energy balance. The teaching says that all energy balance is in the heart. And some of you may feel like your heart is wounded and it cannot be healed and it cannot be whole. Well, I'm here to tell you that the capacity of the heart is wide and vast, and it can meet it all. And it may not feel like it's all getting better, but it is being held and tended to in a kind and gentle way. And we begin with our ennoblement blessing. I affirm the vision you hold. And I affirm the person who holds the vision. And I affirm the vision again. And I affirm the person once more. And I affirm the values that guide the person who holds the vision. And I affirm the spark, the intention, which sparks the values, which guides the person who holds the vision. May abundance be felt in your life. May prosperity emerge. May peace and healing come from deep within. May creativity be found. May composure be restored. May your name be honorable. May your house be whole. May your family find restoration. May your career accelerate. May your business revenues expand. May you remember the balance and remember your capacity to be with whatever arises, breath by breath, moment by moment. Namaste. Thank you for joining me for this ennoblement blessing. You have value and you have worth because you are of noble birth. And with this breath, you will awaken to what is possible within your life. May you lead and may you achieve. May you lead and may you achieve. Well practiced, Seattle. What a privilege it was to be able to meditate with you, to be able to hold this space with you, to be able to shake this room with you in this environment. Listen, this is not where your journey ends. This is where your journey of meditation begins. And tomorrow it begins again and again and again. Every day we begin again. That's the capacity of our hearts. That is the alignment of our purpose. Seattle, what can I say? It's been so real. Thank you, Seattle, for meditating with me. Thank you for holding this space with me in such a beautiful and kind way. I look forward to seeing you again as fellow travelers when our paths cross. May you lead and achieve in your life. Namaste.